Hey guys, welcome back. I think I jumped the gun a little early in the last part. I said to go to Fort Condor for the second battle, right before talking to this old woman, but in fact you want to go afterwards. So you want to talk to her first, and then she's going to let you rest here, and then after you leave this house, then you go to Fort Condor for battle number 2. Okay, now that that's done, now you want to leave for Fort Condor, which is what I just did there. That's battle number 2. Then once you come back, you're going to want to talk to Priscilla because now she's awake. See how everyone is in a circle right now? This, once again, is with the gold saucer date. I'm probably not going to spend too much more time talking about the gold saucer date. You kind of get the gist of it, or you should by now. Whoever you like, or whoever you want to go out on a date with, you talk to them first at any opportunity. Be nice to them at any chance, and say all the positive things whenever they ask you a question. Okay, now your team is going to break apart. The reason I slowed this part down here is because this is your opportunity to go back to Fort Condor for battle number 3. You have a very short window of when you can do this, because once you use the whistle and you get up to the top of the tower, you can't go back. So what I ended up doing is I got into the water and then left and went back, but this is the time right now where you want to go back to Fort Condor for battle number 3. And also, another note, this is going to be the last battle where you can get the Vagiris Claw that I showed you in the last part. You can only do it in the first 3 battles, so after this battle is over, you won't be able to get that item from Fort Condor. You'll have to do it the other way, which is a lot harder, but I will still show you how to do that when we get to that point. So here is where I am making my way back to Fort Condor for the 3rd battle. I'm not going to show you any more of the battles because I showed you how to win, and you're just going to repeat that process. Alright, so I just get done. You don't even have to you don't have to move Cloud at all. Just wherever he's standing, press the whistle button. He'll move you to that place where I was before. Press the whistle button again, and you'll be on the tower. So don't move when you're in the water. Just press the whistle button twice, and you'll get put on the tower. And then you just climb to the top. Okay, once you get to this room, you're going to get surrounded by these soldiers. You'll see them a couple times in the game. But these guys are going to make you put on a Shinra uniform, and this is your chance to make your way through the town without being noticed. The only problem is that you're going to have to partake in the celebration and march with all the other soldiers. This is going to be quite the process, so you'll want to be sure to save as often as you can, just in case you mess up, because it will probably take you a few times to get some of these things right. There are some pretty nice items that you can get, especially if you do well in these performances that you're going to have to do. So first off, you're going to be doing this parade. It's going to be based off of TV ratings. If you have less than 29% ratings, you're going to get a grenade. If you get 30 to 39% ratings, you'll get 6 potions. 40% to 49%, you'll get 6 ethers. And then if you get 50% or higher, you'll get 5,000 Jill, which is pretty nice at this point. So once they get done talking to you, you're going to want to save and then just follow them to the parade because you end up being late. Okay. So you kind of want to do what these soldiers are doing. You want to get to the back row, and then you just want to start pounding on the X button, because that's what jumps up your rating. I don't know why, but just it makes you move your gun, and if you keep doing it a bunch, the ratings go through the roof. It's the easiest way to do this. So as soon as your captain or whatever tells you to go, you want to move as quickly as you can to the back row, get in place, and then just start hitting the X button a bunch. And see, the percentage is just flying up right now. So I got to 59%. It's all about hitting that X button. Alright, now you get dragged back to the locker room because you now have to do a special presentation for Rufus. So you have to follow these orders right here. They're pretty easy. The only thing that can be tricky about this is that when he tells you to do a left turn, you actually want to press right, and vice versa. It's the only thing that can be a little tricky. Other than that, you just do exactly what he tells you to do. For this, you will also get another prize, and this one's a little tricky because if you want the highest amount of points, you have to get 100 points or higher, and you will get a Force Stealer, which is a sword for Cloud. Well, I already have that sword, so what I want is the HP plus, which you get if you have between 60 and 90 points. So that's actually what I am going to get here. So I'm going to mess up on purpose to make sure that I stay within that range. Also, if you go between 0 and 50 points, you get silver glasses. So this also, this kind of depends on what you want to do. I already have this weapon, so in my opinion, this isn't going to determine whether I have a perfect game or not. I want the item that I don't have right now, which is HP plus, and this is the first time you can get it. You won't be able to get it until you hit Cosmo Canyon, and it costs 8 grand. So in my opinion, it's definitely worth getting now while it's free. So that's what I'm going to do when we get there. Before that though, we have a ton of shops to hit. and I'm just going to go down the row and hit them one at a time. You definitely want to do this now. You can do it anytime during disc 1, but this is just the easiest time to do it because you're here. Hit all the shops, get everything that you don't have now, because once you get to disc 2, all these shops, they'll still be here, but the items will change, some of which you won't be able to get items anymore. So I would just hit, you should have plenty of money to get everything, so while you're here, just anything that you don't have one of already, just buy it now. Now once you get into this room, if you remember at the very beginning of the game there was a place called Beginner's Hall. Well, this is the exact same type of place, except it's the Intermediate Hall. If you have any questions about the game, certain actions to do, this is where you want to do it. You can ask pretty much anything that you need to know up until this point. So if you're having any issues, you're a little confused on stuff, this is where you want, or this is where you have the opportunity to learn that stuff. Also, while you're in these stores or these shops, be sure to pick up some of the items. There's a lot of items just laying around here. Sources and those scaled down versions of Shinra soldiers. Why they're in here, I have no idea. I think there's a total of 3 that you can pick up throughout the game. You can also get them in the Chocobo races too, or the battle arena. But why they're in the game, nobody really knows for sure. What I hear most people say is that they think that they were going to serve a purpose in this game, it just never ended up happening in the final version of the game, so they just left the ones that they'd already put in the game in just for something fun for people to collect. But what's interesting is that if you look at the description of it, it says there's 13 in the set, And like I said, there's only 3 that you can pick up in the game unless you go in the battle arena and win them that way. Or I take that back, it's not the battle arena, it's the speed square. You can win them. But I know people that have gotten 13 and it still doesn't do anything, but it's just something to collect. Now, we only have a few more shops left. Once you get through all of them, you want to be sure to save. There's a spot in one of the stores where you can save, because now you're about to do your performance for Rufus, and you want to make sure that you get whatever you're aiming for. Now here's a shop that you definitely want to hit up. You want the silver glasses and you want the headband for sure. Like I said, like you can win silver glasses coming up here in a few minutes, but I would just buy them because they only cost 3,000. HP Plus costs 8,000, and if you didn't get the Force Stealer earlier, that's also a important weapon for you to get. It's double growth too for Cloud. So definitely be sure to win one of those 2 items. You can buy the silver glasses right there. Okay, now we finished going through all the shops. This is where I go to save. Once we're all done with that, we will now head over to the performance for Rufus, and then after that we're going to sneak onto the ship. Okay, so you have the President's mood gauge. So, like I said, if you want the Force Stealer, you want to be sure to get it to at least 100. I'm going to shoot for between 60 and 90. That way, I will get HP plus. So this part is all up to you on what you want to get. So this is where I start to mess up, just to keep it in the appropriate level of mood gauge. Now you should get 10 for each thing that you get right, but you'll get 30 for that special, so just be aware of that in case you're trying to get in a certain gauge and you end up going too high. And after that's done, you don't want to follow them, you want to head on to this boat, and that's going to take you to the next continent. And that will conclude this part. We will begin again as soon as we're able to play as Cloud again on the ship.